Hello, this is Eric from Wisdom Heart. And one of the questions that's alive in the collective right now, particularly in the United States, is this: can they accept the results? And they're talking about the election, which keeps continually being verified. But it's a question that we can turn around if we're on the awakening path. First, by recognizing that every event that we are aware of is both, it has an outer form and an inner form. Every event, whether it's something that we're seeing, quote, in the news of the collective, or whether it's in the news of our own individualized or family sphere, every event has an outer dimension, but it also has an inner teaching. It's a magic mirror that is reflecting back to us collectively, but most importantly for this conversation, individually for you, it's reflecting back the status, as it were, of your own integration or fragmentation. When we look into that magic mirror of the collective, we can sort of miss our own message, and we can think it's definitely reflecting the fragmentation and the denial and the inability for integration within the collective. But let's look at it more deeply. Let's recognize that whatever you are aware of, that's a message, that's a teaching that life is giving you. Because life is always teaching. Life is always offering us each individually an invitation to recognize where we are fragmented, where patterns of consciousness have been relegated to the shadows, and that in the magic mirror we meet those shadows usually as unacceptable others, but the invitation is to invite them into the heart, invite them into the wisdom heart, invite them into the light of awareness. That's why they're arising. So acceptance of results means looking at your life as it is now, in this moment, at this phase of the turning of the wheel of your experience, and asking yourself, can I accept it wholly? Can I accept the full mandala of my experience without trying to relegate certain parts of my consciousness, of my emotionality, of my being, without trying to relegate them into the hinterlands, into the shadowlands? Can I accept the results? And why is this such an important question to take on as a meditation? Because acceptance is the prerequisite for transformation. Acceptance is the prerequisite to transformation. If you're listening to this, you're on the path, you're a seeker, you're a practitioner, and you want transformation. We want transformation. But often when we examine our impulse and our striving for transformation, we can detect subtle flavors of aversion, even not so subtle flavors of rejection that permeate the quest. So in some fundamental sense, the magic mirror is revealing unto us the ways that we are not accepting, but rather that we are rejecting, that we are struggling against life, defending ourselves from life, fighting with the results of this moment. All of our efforts of thought, speech, and action, every sage has spoken this, has taught this. The results of this moment are the unfolding of our previous thoughts, speech, action, of our choices inwardly and outwardly. Let's accept them. Let's accept them. Let's lay down our weapons of attack. Let's lay down our patterns of self-defense, of distortion, of feeding ourselves narratives that we lay over the brilliance of this moment, because this moment is brilliant. It is truly the culminating moment in your journey of awakening. And this moment is perfectly designed as a reflection of your inner being, and it's perfectly designed as the invitation for you to take the next steps towards what? Towards realizing what the great mystic Thomas Merton called the hidden wholeness. There's a hidden wholeness that's coded into every breath, into every moment of experience, but it's disguised or veiled by the overlay of our conditioning, by the overlay of our defensiveness, by the overlay of our outmoded narratives of self-protection. So can you accept the results of this moment with every breath? That's the practice of meditation, which is to meet every breath, to meet every present moment with an undefended heart, and to allow life to guide us more and more fully, more and more openly into that hidden wholeness, which is not hidden because it's hiding from us. It's hidden because we have turned away from it. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a line that speaks of this, which says, by withdrawing the mind from its shallow surface, the sage is held firmly to life's holy purpose. The shallow surface is the domain of our conditioning, of our fragmentation, of our self-distracting habits. By pulling our attention away from the fascination with our own dramatic stories of wronging and righting and who's better, by drawing it in deeper and attuning to the heart of the being that you are, by listening to the message that is wordlessly being spoken in your heart from life itself, you return to the holy purpose. And the holy purpose is awakening. That's the holy purpose. And life is constructed right now around you in your very specific situation to promote that awakening. I was recently reading on Facebook a beautiful post started by a friend of mine on the big island of Hawaii, who was inviting people to reflect on the gifts that had come to them during this COVID time, without denying any of the suffering, without masking it in any way, but to discern what are the gifts, and everyone spoke of this hidden wholeness in their own words being revealed in terms of love and family, of creativity, of healing, of awakening. Each was receiving his or her own special transmission from that hidden heart, because why? They had discovered the choice. Can you accept the results? Can you accept the results that have brought you to this moment and open more fully to it? Yes, you can. And that is the practice of meditation. The practice of meditation cultivates this capacity to breath by breath, particularly in the challenging, particularly in the difficult, particularly in the tumultuous times and in the boring times, to go deeper and to accept the result.